June came out with a prompt list. Oh, it's only 10. Oh, I'll knock this out easy, dude.
3 months later.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer. Welcome to the Shroom Network. Hi, I'm Shroom, and I participated in Actually Infected 2024. Actually Infected was a prompt list. Think Mermaid, Inktober. Instead of the usual 31 or 30, it was 10, and it spanned over all of October. So every prompt would get 2 days instead of the usual one. And I participated in it. June even saw some of my artwork. It was pretty sick. On Halloween, they would host a live stream, and the silly art twinks would go through submissions and carve pumpkins and do silly Halloween things. So the art prompts were based off of common artist mistakes or things that frustrate artists. And day one was marker bleed. For this prompt list, I did want to record my IRL sketchbook and me sketching instead of just putting in Procreate time lapses. But I misplaced my tripod. I still haven't found it. I think I got rid of it. I don't know where it is. So I ended up setting up a makeshift one, which was a phone holder on top of a cylindrical pretzel holder container. So it was just my phone recording precarious. Day one was marker bleed, and I really didn't know what to do for this one. I got the idea for ink cap mushrooms because I was like, oh, marker, ink cap mushrooms, and so I started creating this little character with this drippy hat. And I'll remember that, and I'll come back to it. It really didn't jive with it. I tried doing what June ended up doing in the video, which was doing ink on one side and then making creatures of it on the other side. I tried doing that with my little creature. There's like me testing out different all my alcohol markers and stuff that are like a million years old, and I really just didn't know what to do until I started doodling on a notepad because I was just like, I'm just gonna draw June. And so there's this running bit that they sniff and eat markers, and it's very spooky. Ooh. And so I tried doing this gremlin pose of them hovering over. I really wanted it to be like you walked in on them in the middle of them gorging themselves on markers. I was gonna do a full body, but the pose just wasn't working out, and I did not vibe with it. So I ended up making this little like square profile picture looking thing of them just with their tongue out, licking a marker, and they have the marker stuff all over their face, and their eyes are glowing because like I really wanted to emulate raccoon vibes. Like you, like you open up the door and you see a raccoon like stick their head up, and when they're caught like digging through your trash. That's the vibe I really wanted to go for, and I think I did it. Day 2, or prompt 2, was corrupted file. I immediately thought of Hatsune Miku. I just Hatsune Miku angst, so I was like, oh, maybe her like banging on the inside of the screen that wasn't really doing it. So I had this idea of her like falling into like the trash bin. Think of like the scene from Inside Out where it's like all these discarded memories, all these forgotten memories, and also like the I don't want to play with you anymore from one of the Toy Story movies. That's like the vibe I wanted to get. So it's her falling, and the thing is like software deleted or something. And so software deleted, and I really liked it. I played with like corruption things on Procreate and like the glitch effects. It was really really fun. What you might notice is that there was no like sketchbook drawing of that because I was traveling. I didn't realize how much I was traveling all of October before I started doing this, and then I was traveling all over the place. And so there are a lot of things that are just gonna be Procreate time lapses. But I tried my best to, when I was at my home base, to record my sketching process and stuff. And when I wasn't, I would just be sketching on Procreate, which is a good exercise for me. It's just my lines are wobbly, and I'm just like, don't look away, look away. I yet again had nothing to do for day 3, like no idea what to do. So I was like, well, I can't just waste another prompt and just stick around doing nothing. So I skipped over to day 4. Don't worry, I went back and did day 3, but I did day 4 first, which is going to be confusing, but I promised you. I promise you it's worth it. The 4th prompt was scrapped, and so I immediately thought, oh, scrapped OC. And my first ever OC, my first ever Sona, was this little cat. This is before I found out I was trans. Her name is Megan, and there's this one drawing of her in my sketchbook with her in her little magician's outfit. And I thought, why not redo it? And so I was like going through all these things of like, what is a way to redesign her, but still like keep her element. Like I loved the markings on her face were very prominent. It was something I really liked. I stole them from Chip Flake because I was just like, ooh, I want. So that's why I made my Sona out of. She's no longer a persona. She's now just an OC. I decided to incorporate the markings as topaz gemstones on her hat, and I really wanted to play with the magician vibe. I tried doing brown hair for her, but I still wasn't playing with it. Like I wasn't vibing with it, so I just made her hair full white and this little like magician's gown, and then I played with the nebula brush on Procreate to make it look like smoke and stuff flying by. And I'm kind of proud of this. It is really sketchy, and the shading isn't well, but this was all just to get an idea down and send it off. It's not fully polished things, but I still wanted it to be good, and I think it's good for the prompt it was. I definitely can do better now. Like, oh my gosh, boy, you need to check the stability of your brushes. I was doing day 4. It actually worked, the thing I had of going back to day 3. This is now the 31st. I worked, I did scrap on the 30th, and then, so all the rest of these were done during Actually Ray's live stream. Oh, except for 8. 8 wasn't. I'll get back to 8 in a sec. So, day 3, or prompt 3 was misprint. No idea what to do with this. But then I thought of those colorblind challenges, where like you turn on like the monochrome setting in your device and draw that way. And so basically that's what I did. I ended up making a green bunny. I didn't know that until the very end. And so I turned him into a little Franken bunny. I tried my best to shade it and make him look fluffy and stuff, and then I just kind of like moved the line art to the side, or I moved the base colors to the side to make it look like ever so slightly out of place, ever so like the stitches don't completely line up to the purple of the patches. And yeah, that's day 3. I ended up playing a lot in Procreate. It was really fun. The 5th prompt was spilled ink, and I was like, ink, back to the ink mushroom ink caps. It's all coming back together. So I started making this little witch and sketching her out and stuff. In Procreate, I decided to challenge myself by only coloring with the liquify tool. Like I would place down a color, and then I would place down my colors, and then I would liquefy and push stuff around. So I thought that was really fun. I really liked it. If I could go back and fix it, I would obviously fix like the arms and stuff. And also her broomstick doesn't like connect at all. I love her gooey little familiar though. And I would also fix the background. I think the background's pretty flat. This is her. I love her dress. I love her hat. I would also redo the hat, but I tried to make like a mix between a witch's hat and the ink cap. I think it's really fun. Little gooey companion is my favorite forever. I love him. Day 6, or prompt 6, is analog film, and I like was sketching out my sketchbook. This was during the sketching phase of one of the previous prompts, but I was just like sketching out ideas of like, okay, I need to get this down. It's the last day. I procrastinated, so let's just get this all down. And I got to this idea of like a camera, and like there's the sketch of that, but I never really liked it. And I was going through the first page I did forever ago when I did prompt 1, and there's this little like freaky drawing I did of like a weird gross June. It doesn't end up looking so much like June, but like these two-headed things that were really creepy. And so I ended up doing that and making a little guy and making it a Polaroid. Like just making a little guy, one's happy and has blood dripping out of its mouth, and one's screaming in agony. And it definitely is just a sketch, definitely just a baseline. And yeah, that's day 6. Day 7 is the broken model. For this, this is also, I think, during the live stream, I literally just found a PNG of a doll face and broke it apart and tried to do some funky art stuff with it, of like ink splatters being like dark red blood and stuff, and very much playing Photoshop with it in Procreate, trying to make it look cool. It definitely is really, really amateur, but I was like, I'm on a time crunch. Maybe this like doll is like a representation of this girl who was like a child actor or like a child model and stuff. And so, yeah, that is Broken Model, prompt 7. And so this marks the end of the stream ended, and I was like, God dang, I still have to work on these 2, or these 3 prompts left. Ended up like procrastinating forever because I was like, okay, I have to get Actually Infected done. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And then like a few days into November, I was watching Brian David Gilbert and watching his Pokemon rap, and I was like, oh, Tangela. And so I was listening to it actually. I was like, oh, I'll just draw Tangela from memory. And so that was day 8 of Tangled Thread. And day 9 is where I really got stuck. Day 9 was blue screen, and I still had no idea what to do. And I think that's what really fucked me over. Was the just like the inability, not the inability, but like the like lack of creativity when it came to that. I wanted to do something with Cynthia from Prism, and like the little like goopy abstract thing. And I was like, oh, that's not really blue screen. Because I was going back to thinking of like Hatsune Miku, like people controlling and stuff, and it didn't really work. And so I was just like, well, snap, all beans. And so I was like, oh, I'll just skip and work on day 10 instead. And I like got through like I started the sketching phase, and then that was it. I very much dropped it, and I was just like, oh, well. And then now it was December, so I was like, beans. So, moral of the story: if you have time blindness, put reminders on your phone and do art. Um, I'm very excited to participate next year. Yeah, and also now roll clips of June reacting to my art.
Though, so we can just use like the more human and like the less human designs. Love
that'd be
this
cute.
analog film submission. Some freaked up shit happening here, and like a little Polaroid pic. Love that.
Love that. Blades all the time.
Here's one for spilled ink. We've got like an inky witch with outfit and familiar cat made of ink. This is super cute.
I love that.
I like how you
I love the way that they did the sky
dissipating towards the end. Yeah, I really like the sky.
This is my first ever video. I hope you like it. I hope you like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know. Do the things. I'm gonna try to be posting more. There is no upload schedule. There is nothing. I'm very amateur in all this. Follow me on Blue Sky. Follow my Instagram. And I think that's it. I think that's all the socials I have. This is Shroom Network, Shroomith, whatever you want to call me. I'm the Shroom guy. And yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching.